Most businesses struggle to get consistent, high quality leads, and they waste time on strategies that don't work. Don't let that be you. After 6 years of experience in lead generation in B2B, I've learned what really works, and in this video, I'll share the most valuable lessons in just 20 minutes so you can start generating leads faster and more effectively. You may ask yourself, why should you listen to me? I'm an ex-Gartner business developer specializing in enterprise sales, personally booking and selling to multi-billion-dollar organizations, and have helped over 30 business owners grow and generate pipeline like these by using these proven lead generation strategies. To start things off, here are the 4 biggest lead generation mistakes I see most businesses do, and how you should avoid these common traps that kill your lead gen results. Number 1, chasing quantity over quality. More leads does not mean more sales. Focus on high intent prospects, not just more volume. Number 2 is weak follow-up or no follow-up at all. 80% of sales require 5 follow-ups, but most businesses and reps stop at 1 or 2. Number 3 is ignoring multi-channel outreach. Relying just on email, cold calling, or LinkedIn is killing your pipeline. You need to use these in combination to maximize your booking rates. And number 4, not prioritizing accounts and prospects. Stop wasting time on low-level leads just to chase vanity booking metrics. Instead, focus on targeted accounts and prospects where you know the conversation can end up in a closed deal in the sales cycle. Now that you know what to avoid, let's talk about the real reason lead gen feels hard: the buyer's pyramid. As you can see, only a small percentage of your market is actively looking for a solution today. About 3%, which all your competitors are going after as well, which is why it feels challenging, and when you speak with potential clients, they're always weighing up multiple options. But there's still an opportunity. About 7% are open to buying, and another 30% are not even thinking about it. As you can see, most buyers aren't ready yet, but they will be in the future, and that's where you'll come in. But how do you move people up the buyer's pyramid? That's where education-based marketing comes in. Instead of just selling, you need to educate your buyers to create demand and awareness for your solution. Types of content that generally works are lead magnets such as guides, white papers, tutorials, videos, etc., LinkedIn posts, webinars and workshops, podcasts. And the beauty is that you can combine all of these together, such as workshops and lead magnets, to educate your potential prospects. Now you know how to move people up the buyer's pyramid, but how do you actually reach them? Based on Alex Hormozi's Core 4 framework, there are only 4 pillars that you can actually leverage to generate leads. The first is warm outreach, people you know, referrals, past customers. Then there's cold outreach, email, LinkedIn, cold calls, letters, networking events. Then there's content creation, YouTube, LinkedIn, white papers, podcasts, and finally, paid ads. All have their pros and cons, but to maximize lead flow, every successful business leverages all 4. Now that you know the core 4 and how to reach your potential clients, you need to know how to actually prioritize them. Not all leads are equal. We want to focus on high value accounts that we know we can deliver to. So the first thing you have to do is actually interview your current clients and your best clients. Businesses actually don't do this, but this is actually going to allow you to understand why they bought, what pain points they have, what they were facing, what challenges they had, and figure out a more defined niche for yourself and allow you to create targeted lead magnets and content. Now, in B2B, prioritization is crucial, and there are 2 ways you need to prioritize outreach. The first is account prioritization, and the most effective B2B strategy that I found works and many billion-dollar companies such as Gartner, Adobe, and Microsoft use is a Dream 100 approach that uses account-based marketing. Essentially, you're mapping out 100 ideal companies matching your ICP, but this can be 200, 300, or as many sales reps you have. The number's completely arbitrary. But then this systematically targets prospects with these accounts using multi-channel outreach and value campaigns. Now, once you've narrowed down your Dream 100, you go into the second layer of prioritization, which is prospect prioritization. This means that you have set criteria such as, are they a budget holder? What's their job title? What industry are they in? Are they new to role? Etc. And then you can put them into 3 buckets. What I like to do is put them into a must-win, tier 1, and tier 2 prospect. A must-win essentially ticks all the boxes and is your ideal prospect. A tier 1 ticks most boxes for you. Tier 2s only tick some but can be good champions to build an internal business case. For example, if you targeted marketing in an enterprise company, the CMO will be your must-win. That's because that's the highest job title, they most likely have budget, they're C-level executive, etc. The director of marketing could be your tier 1 as it's not quite power. And then a marketing specialist could be a tier 2. They're usually more junior levels, but then you could get buy-in and have them as a champion. Now that you know how to prioritize leads, let's talk about the actual outbound lead generation. There are a few things you need to know around email and LinkedIn that could be hindering the amount of leads you're generating. Firstly, gone are the days where you can just email a prospect a long email telling them who you are, what you do, what case studies you have, and why you're a good fit for them. Cold outreach now is about keeping things short, concise, relevant to prospects, and here's a few tips. Firstly, keep your emails and messages under 80 words. Prospects don't have time to be reading lengthy emails and they get put off. Secondly, write your copy at a 5th grade reading age level. The more simple it is to read, the higher the open and response rate. You can use the Hemingway app to do this and it's completely free. Thirdly, you need to make sure you have a short relevant subject line and a personalized first relevant line. You need to make sure to keep out all of the fluff. Now, moving away from that, your email infrastructure is costing you millions in pipeline, and I fell into this exact trap myself when I was in enterprise sales. Here's why. If you're like most businesses, you probably are sending hundreds, if not thousands of emails all from one domain. And the problem with this is that it's increasing the likelihood of the emails going to the spam or domain being blacklisted, meaning your prospects aren't even seeing your emails, meaning you can't generate any pipeline. This means that you need to have other domains to use for your outreach campaigns. For example, if your main domain is abc.com, you'll need to purchase and do outreach from abc.co.uk, .net, .io, etc. And once this is all set up, it's crucial to keep outreach to a maximum of 35 emails per day per account to maximize deliverability. Once you've done that, we need to keep your data hygienic. You most likely turn at the moment to databases such as Apollo.io to get contact information such as emails and numbers, which is a great thing. But there is one key problem with that. The data is not updated frequently and only about 60 to 70% of emails are valid, meaning that many leads on there may have moved to another role, retired, or changed email, changed firms, etc. And if you email these invalid emails enough times, your account can be marked as spam. So you must use a tool to validate these emails before you start reaching out. Now, there are many tools that you can use to validate emails, but what I recommend is Million Verifier. Now you know how to message to maximize a response and make sure that your emails are actually landing in your prospect's inbox. But here's where most businesses fail. They don't follow up enough. The fortune is in the follow-up. Multiple studies have shown that 80% of deals are closed after at least 5 touch points and follow-ups, whereas most sales reps actually quit after 1 or 2 touches. A simple framework that has always worked for myself and our clients is the 1, 3, 7, 14, 21 touch. And in today's day and age of automation, you have no excuse to not be doing this. You can automate all your follow-ups in many cold outreach tools such as Lemlist, Instantly, Smart Lead, etc. And to really maximize your follow-ups and booking rates, what I recommend is using a multi-channel follow-up. This helps improve engagement and brand recall, mitigates channel saturation, so not relying just on one channel, and you also get higher response rates because of that brand recognition and hitting them from multiple angles. An example sequence can be a connection request on LinkedIn, an email follow-up, phone call when they accept your LinkedIn invite, then liking their post, a LinkedIn message, then an email, etc. Multiple touch points. Now that we've covered outbound, I want to focus in on inbound. There are 2 ways we do this. That's via paid ads and content. Paid ads I typically recommend once you have exhausted the other channels, so you can actually liquidate the spend with revenue that's already being generated from referrals, cold outreach, and content, unless you have a budget to invest in all at once. Content, however, is booming. According to Zoom Info and LinkedIn, B2B buyers are increasingly relying on content to inform their purchasing decisions. 60% of B2B buyers can and may finalize purchase decisions based solely on digital content. 74% of B2B buyers consume 3 to 5 pieces of content before engaging a salesperson, and 72% of B2B buyers consume at least 3 pieces of content before making a purchasing decision. This shows how vital content is becoming in the B2B world. But content is hard and takes a lot of time. Coming up with ideas, writing scripts or posts, recording videos, editing videos, publishing on multiple formats, which is why many businesses are still not doing it, leaving it a prime position for you to start implementing it before the content game becomes very saturated. And you can do this with only 1 to 2 hours of investment per month, so you can start generating inbound leads through content. And that is through what I call the podcast method. You either agree to do 1 to 2 podcasts a month with other hosts, or you do it internally with a colleague where they're asking you relevant questions and you're answering them, generating thought leadership and answering key challenges your prospects may be facing. Off the back of these 1 to 2 hours of video content recorded with Bluecast AI and Opus Clips, you can create 20 to 40 pieces of short form content and text content to post, as well as having the original long form format. This builds your business and personal brand, increases your trust, generates inbound traffic, and can be the content as lead magnets and follow-ups for your other channels. This builds your business and personal brand, increases trust, generates inbound traffic, and you can use this content as lead magnets and follow-ups for your other channels to use. Alright, so we've covered a lot: how to generate leads, prioritize the right ones, and actually converting them into meetings. If you apply even half of this, you'll see a big difference. But there are a few small tweaks that you can do that will take your results to another level. Little things that most people overlook, but make a huge impact on response rates and conversions. So before we wrap up, I want to share some quick next level tips that will help you even get better results. Number 1 is use Spintax to avoid spam filters. Email providers flag repetitive outreach as spam. Spintax is essentially email variations to make each message unique, and most outreach softwares include it now as part of their solution. Number 2 is reply to a lead within 5 minutes of their reply. Harvard study found that this increases booking rates by 900%. Number 3, sending voice notes and videos on LinkedIn instead of messages. LinkedIn has become very automated and people can tell the messages are fake. Why this works is that it shows you put in effort and not just copy pasted a blank message. It also piques interest as a prospect does not get them often, and most people are too lazy and not willing to record a 30-second video or voice note. And number 5, the breakup email that gets responses. When leads are ghosting you, simply email them this: "Hey, I haven't heard back, so I assume that this isn't a priority right now. Totally cool. Should I close your file for now? If things change, feel free to reach out anytime. Wishing you the best." Why it works: it flips the psychology. If you know that this was a priority for them, it puts it back on top of mind for them while also showing you're willing to move on as a salesperson. Now you have the best lead generation insights from 6 years of my experience, but we barely scratched the surface in this video, and knowing these tips just isn't enough. Applying them the right way is what makes the difference. If you want to be sure your business gets a steady stream of quality leads, click the link below and book in a free call with me today. And if you're not quite ready yet for that, please check out the video here where I show you the top 9 B2B lead generation tools for 2025.